Hey guys, welcome to this Arc 3.0 build guide for Warlocks. This build is all about aggression. You move fast, kill fast and repeat. So let's start with the aspects and fragments first. For aspects, you need Arc Soul and Electrostatic Mind. Defeating jolted or blinded targets creates an ionic trace. Collecting an ionic trace makes you amplified. For fragments, you need Spark of Shock. Your arc grenades jolt targets. Spark of Focus. After sprinting for a short time, your class ability regen is increased. Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. And finally, Spark of Discharge. Arc weapon final blows have a chance to create ionic trace. For weapons, Risk Runner and Trinity Ghoul are your best options. Personally, Trinity Ghoul is much better for this build, but if you do not have this, you can use Risk Runner for now. You basically need a arc primary weapon which can kill a group of enemies very quickly. For exotic armors, you have a couple of options. If you want to spam your supers as much as possible, then you can use Mantle of Battle Harmony, because it says takedowns with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy. You will use Trinity Ghoul, which is arc type, and this is arc subclass. So perfect synergy. If you want to spam your abilities instead, you can use Crown of Tempests, because it says arc ability or jolt final blows increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extend the duration of storm trance. The last part is not really important. There is another option, which is the new exotic Fallen Sunstar. This is an exotic helmet which says ionic traces you create move faster and grant you additional ability energy. For supers, you can use anyone. I prefer Chaos Reach, but you can also use the default super. Both of them are fine. For rifts, you are going to use Healing Rift, and for melee and grenades, it's your preference. You can use anyone. All of them work fine with this build. So here's how this build works. It's all about chaining amplified with jolted effects. You start off by killing a group of enemies quickly with your arc weapon. Of course, Trinity Ghoul is perfect for this. This will most often spawn ionic traces. You collect them to become amplified. While amplified, you kill another bunch of enemies, which creates blinding explosion. These blinds nearby enemies. You kill those blinded enemies to become amplified again. This process, you also generate ionic traces. This will give you ability energy and also make you amplified. You repeat this cycle as much as you like. Occasionally, you can also throw grenades to jolt enemies and start the process again. When amplified, you will also sprint a lot, because that's the whole point. It's so much fun. This will also give you your rift back due to the fragment Spark of Focus. We will also use elemental wells for quality of life. Elemental armaments to spawn arc wells, and Font of Might with Font of Wisdom to use those wells. This will help us get our super quickly in many cases. Now the upsides and downsides of this build. Upside is you can be as much aggressive as you want. This is all about fast, speedy gameplays. The downside is this is not as tanky as Solar 3.0 with classy restoration. Spark of Resistance will reduce some incoming damage, but I have tested it, it's not enough to tank a lot of hits at once. This is why I have Spark of Focus, so that you can get your rift as fast as possible. So have fun with this build, shock and destroy everything that comes in your sight, and let me know how it feels. If you have any suggestion or improvement for this build, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.